What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Me, my old man in a movie. I'm Gannon. This is my dad, Ryan, and today we're going to be reviewing the live-action How to Train Your Dragon. Alright, so before we get started, I'd like to read a brief synopsis on the film. On the rugged Isle of Berk, a Viking boy named Hiccup defies centuries of tradition by befriending a dragon named Toothless. However, when an ancient threat emerges that endangers both species, Hiccup's friendship with Toothless becomes the key to forging a new future. Together, they must navigate the delicate path towards peace, soaring beyond the boundaries of their worlds and redefining what it means to be a hero and a leader.
All right.
Here
we go.
Right, so we're going to go ahead and give our initial thoughts on the film. Then we're going to do our Blockbuster Trio, which is 3 things that we liked about the film. Our cutting room floor, 3 things that we would change.
Or anything we would change.
Anything we would change about the film. And then we're going to rate it. And then tell you whether you should see it in the theater, wait to stream it, or skip it altogether.
Here we go.
So let's go ahead and give our initial thoughts.
First thought, pleasantly surprised. I wasn't too excited about this one going into it, but it held its own, pulled me in, and I left glad for the experience. It was really good.
This was a great film that I think I honestly think that it challenges the original animation because I'm telling you, this movie is really, really strong. It's really, really good. It had a surprising, I was going in like, my expectations for it, I was very excited to see how they adapted it to live action, because I think there's great potential to adapt this to live action because of the visuals and the CGI with the dragons, and they did a really good job with all of that and stuff, and I think that Disney should learn from this.
Agreed. All right. Okay. All right, so let's do it. Blockbuster Trio?
Yep, Blockbuster Trio. All right, you can kick us off.
All right, so I'm going to say straight up, released on Father's Day weekend. I mentioned it when we did the short, but an out-of-theater reaction. The father-son element to this, obviously that's present, right, already. And a lot of this is going to go for what was already created in this, the IP of this franchise. But, for me, it connected and resonated with me on this dad and his son and them trying to figure out their relationship. Was good, son. It was a good show for us.
All right, the first thing that I have is the visuals of this film. The CGI, the dragons, they looked really good. It looked very real. It was cool seeing it kind of come to life in live action form, and the visuals were really, really strong.
That was my blockbuster too, was the visuals, the dragons. I mean, just even in the trailer, you could tell when they were showing the shots of that main dragon, that wow, this looks really good. But on another level, when you saw the whole film with some of the fire and just the different types of dragons. I mean, it was astounding. It was just visually just stunning on this one.
The second thing I had was the cast. I thought they did a really good job of portraying the characters. They portrayed them really well. They casted them well. They did a good job acting. It was nothing wrong with it. It was just really, really, really solid acting, and they did a good job portraying the characters.
I have for 3. It didn't feel like a kid's movie. There was a lot of heart. There was good storytelling. Again, I know it's just a retelling of what was already there, but I think the live action just added an element for me. And it just came across as a really quality film, as opposed to some things that in this genre or the things that get remade that sometimes I'm like, it was okay. It just felt a little kiddish. I think I don't know, the tone shifted for me from the original a little bit, and it was enough to kind of make it feel more grown up, I guess. All right.
So guys, while editing this video, I realized that I never gave my third Blockbuster Trio. So my third Blockbuster Trio was that the flight scenes were incredible. That when Toothless and Hiccup, when they first meet and they're flying through the air, it is absolutely incredible. And the end of the movie where they're flying through the air with the big dragon at the end is phenomenal. It's well filmed, has great CGI, and yeah. All right, so let's head to the cutting room floor. All right, so I had I had like an honorable mention kind of. It's like it's not really something that I would necessarily change or take away. It's just the length of the film. It's 30 minutes longer than the original.
Yeah.
And I don't really know where they added that 30 minutes. Like I was never bored. Like I remember watching the original, like I watched it a ton. So I knew like every scene in this movie, and I never really was like, oh, they added that. Like some of the dialogue maybe, but the scenes in themselves, I don't think they added anything. So it was kind of like, where did those 30 minutes come from? Like how did they get 30 extra minutes in there? And so, but I was never bored, so I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. But I don't know where it went. Like I didn't really do anything with it, I guess, but I didn't really know where it went.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's interesting. No, I thought that too. For me, then this is a soft critique. Take it for what it's worth. I know you mentioned the ensemble, the cast. We talked about in the car even like the young group, not Asher, not the main girl, but all the other kids. Mm-hmm. I know they looked the part, like they were great, but sometimes it didn't land with me for them. Not all though. Like I thought there were some great lines. I don't want to I just want to be careful with this, like because it's not harsh like that. It was awful. It's just I don't know, and I can't remember enough of the original to know if like it was straight for straight dialogue with it. But maybe if I'm cutting something, if I'm changing something, maybe they could have tweaked some of that. Because I've seen other films where they've had a similar ensemble, like of characters, and I've seen it work more, I've seen it work less, but this was kind of mid for me in terms of that group.
Yeah.
Now that didn't take much away from the story because there was so much else to this. That was just such a small part of this film. So it didn't take away anything, but to me it was kind of a weaker element in the overall film for me. Yeah. I don't know. For what it's worth.
All right. But I don't have any more.
You don't have anything else?
No,
I'll tell you one thing I would leave on the cutting room floor is the post-credit scene.
Oh, yeah. Oh, never mind. I have one too now.
I don't even bother staying for it. I'm not going to say anything about it. But of course, you're going to want to stay there, I guess, if you haven't seen it. And I would have too if I would have known it wasn't good. But no, it was funny because while we're sitting there, I'm reading, like I did a Google search on, is there a post-credit scene? And I'm reading this thing that says, yes, there's a post-credit scene, spoiler alert. And so I just stopped reading. And then we watched it and I was like, what's the spoiler alert? And what just happened? My phone just reverse took everything off. I got no notes now. What is going on? I am such an old man. I just deleted everything for How to Train a Dragon. Okay, anyway. I wasn't even on my finger on this.
It's a good thing we got through it all.
I don't know what's going on. But I went back and read where it stopped and said spoiler, and all it was on there was not worth staying for. I was like, that's your spoiler alert? So, not worth staying for.
Not worth staying for. The minute the post-credit scene played and ended, the whole audience was like, oh, what was that?
So there it is. Anyway.
It lasted 2 seconds.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I'll say.
All right, that's it. Okay,
let's go into the rating here. I'm going to give this thing 9.5 dragons.
All right, I'm going to give it 8.5 dragons.
Okay.
All right.
8.5 dragons. Yeah. And I definitely recommend you see this in a theater. And it's funny, Universal, this is Universal's first ever live action remake, and it's better than anything Disney's ever made. So, live action wise.
Wow.
So,
all right. Yeah, I mean, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree to that comment, and I would agree to seeing it in the theater. All right, there we go.
All right. Guys,
what's coming up this week?
We got 28 Years Later and Elio. I am stoked for 28 Years Later. Good ones. I am so excited for it. You can't beat Pixar with their animations, and then 28 Years Later just looks phenomenal. So it's going to be a good weekend. Yeah. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, comment down below what you guys thought of How to Train Your Dragon, and we will see you guys next time.